welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create the makeup look that I'm wearing right now. I think it's perfect for back to school, and the best part about it is that I created it using 100% drugstore products, so who doesn't love that? When I was in high school, this was the kind of makeup look that I would wear whenever I wore makeup that day. I honestly don't really wear makeup to school most of the time, but if I had the opportunity to put a little bit more effort in the morning, like if I woke up in time, this was the kind of look that I went for. Obviously, you could totally adjust it depending on what you prefer, so if you like eyeliner or you don't like wearing highlighter, whatever it is, you could totally adjust it, but I hope that you guys can at least find some inspiration for it. And one little tip that I wanted to share with you guys before we get started with the actual tutorial is that whenever you're getting ready in the morning, if there's one specific concern that you have, I would start with that. So I personally like to have my full face done, like foundation and blush and everything, so I always start with my face makeup, but if you care about eyebrows more, I would start with your eyebrows or whatever it may be. So just keep that in mind. I prefer having a full face done and then just like mascara and lip gloss thrown on rather than having bold eyebrows and then no face makeup, if that makes sense. So definitely adjust this to your needs. Also, before we get started, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how to get this makeup look, just keep on watching. So I'm going to start off by priming my skin, and this is the NYX Hydratouch Face Primer. This is one of my hands down absolute favorite primers that I've ever used. I've been using it for quite a while now, and I usually reach for this over some of the more expensive ones that I have, so I really recommend this to anyone. Even if you're not super dry, I love the formula of this. It has more of a gel consistency, so it absorbs into your skin really quickly and it doesn't leave any type of residue like a lot of lotion and cream type hydrating products do, so I absolutely love this. Foundation, I picked up two drugstore ones to try. The first one is the Ulta Demi Matte Foundation, and I'm very curious about this one, not gonna lie. I'm kind of skeptical on Ulta brand makeup. And then the other one that I got is the Ulta Fit Me Foundation. This used to be one of my absolute favorite foundations. I used so many bottles of this, but I haven't tried it in like 2 years, so I'm kind of curious to see if I like this one or not. But I think I am gonna try the Ulta one since I've never used it before, and also I just think that the color is gonna match me a little bit better right now. So I'm just gonna start off by just kind of dotting it all over my face. Yeah, I definitely think that blended in really well. I think it looks nice. It doesn't look heavy on my face at all. Guys, I am actually really liking this foundation. I was kind of nervous since it is so thick. I thought it was going to look heavy on my skin, but it actually looks so natural. And I would say it's like a good medium coverage. You can still see like some of my pimples and redness and everything underneath it, but I definitely recommend this. And then for my concealer, I'm just going to use the L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to use this underneath my eyes to cover up my dark circles. And I have never used this concealer before. I've used the True Match foundation, so I'm curious to see how this concealer works out. And then I'm just going to use my finger to pat this in. That's almost always how I blend in my under eye concealer. I just feel like I get good coverage from it, and it doesn't absorb product like a sponge or a brush would. And then with whatever I get on my finger, I'm just going to put that up on my eyelid to help cover up veins, and then also just to work as an eyeshadow primer. Guys, I really like this concealer. It's actually super lightweight, but you get a lot of good coverage from it, so I'm really happy with the way that that's looking. And then I'm just going to go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder to set everything. I've gone through so many of these. I know it's a favorite for a lot of makeup artists, so I'm just going to put this all over my face and underneath my eyes so that nothing moves around throughout the day. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is go in with some bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I absolutely love this. It's the perfect shade, but it doesn't look chalky or muddy or anything once you put it on. So I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush. I'm not going to contour or anything like that. I'm just going to put it like in the hollows of my cheekbones and up on my forehead. Then for blush, I'm going to use this one from NYX. It's called Intuition. It has a lot of gold shimmer in it. I really like it. It gives your cheeks a really glowy look to them. And then I'm still going to go in with a highlighter. This step is totally optional. I think that just the blush would be fine for school, but you know, just being a little bit extra. So I'm going to use the Pixi+Aspyn Ovard collaboration, and this is in the shade Santorini Sunset. Mine is a little bit broken, but it's still one of my favorite highlighters. It's a really pretty golden, like champagne shade. So I'm not going to go super heavy-handed with this or anything, just a little bit on my cheekbones, my nose. And then just with whatever was left on the brush, I just put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then the next thing I'm going to do is fill in my eyebrows, and if you want something that was super easy, I would say to just use a tinted brow gel. This one is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I really like this. Actually, both of these products I use on an everyday basis, and I've repurchased both of them multiple times. I think they're really good brow products. But if you do want that extra step, the brow pencil that I use is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And then I'm still just going to go in with that brow gel that I showed you guys earlier and just set them in place because I have really long eyebrow hair, so they'll move around a lot if I don't use a gel. So then moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to use another NYX product. I think that they're probably one of my absolute favorite drugstore brands. I think that they have a lot of really good options. So this is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, and this is in the warm neutral shade. I really like this, especially going into fall. I think that you guys get a lot of use out of this. So I'm really not going to do a lot of eyeshadow on a regular basis. I typically don't even wear any. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here. It's sort of a rosy bronze color. That's what I'm going to call it. I just really like this kind of color on my lid, and I think that it's a very universally flattering shade. And then with a big fluffy brush, I'm just going to take this really light brown warm shade, and I'm just going to put that in the crease to darken it a little bit, but also just to blend out the edges from the lid color that I did. And then I'm just going to finish up the eyes with some mascara. One of my all-time favorite ones is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I just don't have one right now. So I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. I know a ton of people have been raving about this recently. I just typically prefer one that has more of the plastic, like rubber ones with the spikes on it rather than one like this, if that makes any sense at all. But I have this one and it is a good mascara, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And whenever I put on my mascara, I always start off by kind of blinking onto the wand. That way I really coat the root and base of my lashes. And then once I get it kind of evenly distributed, then I get the backs of my eyelashes at the top. I feel like that adds a lot of length, and I always recommend this to people if they want their lashes to look more dramatic. And then I always do my lower lashes too, but you don't have to if you don't like the way that it looks on yourself. And then the very last thing that I'm going to do is put on some lip gloss. If you wanted to wear like a liquid lipstick or something, you definitely could. I really like the way that lip glosses look though, and I find that they wear off a little bit nicer throughout the day, and whenever you're in class and everything, I feel like you don't really have time to like worry about what your lipstick looks like. So I just think that a gloss is the easiest thing to do, or if you just wanted to do a chapstick, you could do that as well. And then that finishes up the look, so I hope you guys liked this and I hope that it helped you out. And just remember that you could definitely alter this look in any way to suit whatever you're comfortable with. If I wear more than you like, or if you like to wear more than what I like, then definitely just adjust it. But I hope that you guys found some inspiration on at least how to do your makeup and whatnot. So I will go ahead and just talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!